Saint Maurus was born around the year 510 into a noble Roman family. His parents, Equitius and his wife, were devout Christians who dedicated their son to God from an early age. When Maurus was about 12, they entrusted him to Abbot Benedict at Subiaco. Benedict was forming a new kind of community rooted in prayer and work, which would become the foundation of Western monasticism. Maurus grew up as an oblate within this community, receiving a solid spiritual and intellectual formation. The young Roman's humility and prompt obedience endeared him to his abbot, who saw in him an ideal disciple, eager to serve and quick to follow instructions. A celebrated incident from his youth illustrates this obedience. One of the other oblates, a noble boy named Placidus, went to draw water from the lake and fell in. Benedict, praying in his cell, realized the danger and sent Maurus to rescue the child. Maurus ran to the lake and, without noticing, walked across the water as if on dry land. He grabbed Placidus by the hair and pulled him safely to shore. On returning, Maurus attributed this marvel to his abbot's blessing. Benedict insisted it was the reward of Maurus's obedience. Saint Gregory the Great later recounted the story in his dialogues to teach that miraculous power flows from humble submission more than from personal heroism. Maurus remained at Benedict's side in Subiaco and later at Monte Cassino when the community relocated. He assumed increasing responsibilities, acting as Benedict's assistant and vicar. His days revolved around the divine office, manual labor and hospitality to travelers. Contemporary accounts praise him for healing the sick with the sign of the cross and instructing novices in the rule. His life embodied the balance of prayer and work that Benedict sought for his monks. About 543, Benedict sent Maurus to Gaul to expand the monastic movement. Maurus crossed the Alps and settled near the Loire River. There, he founded the Abbey of Glanfeuil, later known as Saint Maurus, in the Diocese of Angers. As abbot for 38 years, he introduced Benedict's rule, trained monks to evangelize the surrounding countryside and oversaw the construction of the monastery. Traditions recount that he performed miracles and cured the sick. Under his guidance, Glanfeuil became a center of prayer and learning, drawing vocations and pilgrims. Despite his success as abbot, Maurus longed for greater solitude. In 581, he resigned his office and built a small cell near the church of Saint Martin. There he lived more quietly, devoting himself to prayer, manual labor, and penance. Feeling his end approaching, he asked to be laid on sackcloth in front of the altar so that he might die facing Christ. After receiving the sacraments, he died peacefully on January 15, 584. His deathbed scene highlights his humility. The former abbot chose to die like a simple monk, stripped of honors and comfort. Maurus was buried at Glanfeuil. In the 9th century, Viking raids forced the monks to flee with his relics, which they brought to Saint Maurus near Paris. In the 18th century, his remains were transferred to the Abbey of Saint-Germain-des-Prés, where they remained until the turmoil of the French Revolution dispersed them. Despite the loss of his bones, devotion to Saint Maurus persisted. His name graces many monasteries, and he is honored as co-patron of Benedictine novices and oblates. Benedictine liturgy on January 15 also commemorates his companion Saint Placidus, reflecting their lifelong bond. The life of Saint Maurus exemplifies key monastic values: obedience, service, and missionary zeal. His parents' offering of their child reminds us of the role of families in nurturing vocations. His miraculous rescue of Placidus teaches that obedience can accomplish what seems impossible. His mission to Gaul demonstrates how monastic communities helped evangelize Europe and preserve culture during turbulent times. Finally, his retirement to a humble cell shows that leadership is temporary and that even founders must step aside to deepen their relationship with God. Although the Canadian liturgical calendar assigns no obligatory memorial on January 15, the Roman Martyrology notes Saint Maurus on this date. His witness invites us to embrace obedience with joy, to serve without seeking recognition, and to be ready to leave comfort for mission when asked.